Ask Dan Anything is brought to you by Pizza Hut, America's favorite for pizza, pasta, and wings.
We welcome you back to the Dan Bylsma Show, presented by Pizza Hut. Now it's time for Ask Dan Anything. Penguin fans have the opportunity to ask you absolutely anything. So let's get to our first question.
Dan, I want to know how you stay so calm in all circumstances.
How do I stay so calm in all circumstances? Well, he doesn't know all the circumstances. I'm not always that calm, but one of the things I think behind the bench and in front of the room is the team takes on your personality. You're guiding the ship, and if you're yelling at the ref, if you're coming unglued in certain circumstances, if they score a big goal, you're on the road in the playoffs, and the buildings are tough to play in. If you start to lose your temperament, lose your cool, I think it rubs off on the rest of the team. So it's something I've really had to work on early on in my coaching career, because I'm an energetic guy. I'm a guy who likes to show emotion. But it seems like last year I was able to rein that in a little bit and had the statue pose on the bench.
It's unbelievable. How do you keep that all bottled in?
Well, after the game, I close the coach's door and it comes all out. It comes pouring out.
All right, let's get to our next question.
I was just wondering if you and your family have any pets, and what are they?
Nice.
Excellent question.
Sanders gets some play today. We have a dog. His name is Sanders, and I promised myself I'd never get a small dog. Back in '04, I came home from the rink. I was still playing at that time, and in the front yard, my son and my wife were playing with a 5-pound Chihuahua, and his name is Sanders.
Well, you're from Michigan. Barry Sanders, is that the
I
connection?
wish. That was what I was trying to pull out of my son. I say it's Barry Sanders, but at the time, we were reading a lot of Winnie the Pooh books. He was listening to Winnie the Pooh tapes, and if you look at any picture of Winnie the Pooh in his home, above his door is the word Sanders.
Okay.
And that's where my son pulled that from. We're convinced of that, but I'm still going with Barry Sanders.
Okay, next up.
And my question to Dan was what he did with the Stanley Cup while he had it.
Your day with the cup.
My day with the cup. This is one you plan out a long time in advance. I had close in '03 when losing in Game 7 with the Ducks. So I had my day planned out pretty closely a while back. But when we got it in Michigan, we brought it to my hometown, Grand Haven. We went fishing with it, had 15 friends. We had a couple boats. We went out on Lake Michigan, caught 50 salmon to be exact. We shared it with the community for a couple hours. We brought it around to some local establishments, some restaurants, my school, the golf course I grew up on, the house I grew up in, and then we had a party. We had a party in the evening time, and then the best part for me was after the party, we brought it up to my cabin in northern Michigan, and for that night until noon the next day, there was just 6 of us there at the cabin. Lord Stanley, down the river, on the kitchen table, Lucky Charms out of the bowl. We had a real quiet time, real good time, telling stories, looking at the names, reminiscing about the playoffs. It was a great morning. And then we sent it on to Hale-Gill.
A lot of reflecting, I'm sure.
It's a beautiful, beautiful 36 hours.
All right, next question.
All right, Dan, my question to you is, what's your favorite arena to visit?
Favorite arena in the NHL?
Arena to visit. I think player-wise, I played a lot in the Western Conference. My favorite city to play in, and when the building was full, was the Chicago Stadium. The anthem is always great there. Love that city. In the LA King Anaheim days, when I played with Anaheim, going to LA was great. It's a rivalry there. The fans get pretty jacked up for that game, much like our Philly game is here. So that was always a great game. San Jose's building is really, really loud. It's always full. A great place to go play. Now I'm out here. I think playing Philly here and at home are the best games. Going to Philly is just a rambunctious place to play. And then I like going to Montreal. It's a great city, great fans. It's always energy in the building, and it's tough beating the history of going to Montreal.
Okay, great questions, and we'll have this throughout the entire season. Ask Dan Anything. We'll take a break and return to wrap things up on the Dan Bylsma Show, presented by Pizza Hut. Back to wrap things up on the Dan Bylsma Show, presented by Pizza Hut. Dan, we're about the quarter mark of this Penguin season. Give us an evaluation of your team to this point.
Well, we break up the season as a coaching staff into 20-game segments. We've just left the 20-game segment. That's the foundation for our team. Building that foundation, we should know how we want to play, the systems of how we want to play, and now we head into the team identity section of our season. We did I think, training camp, given the fact that we played a lot of games last year, given the fact we went to the Stanley Cup Finals. We built that foundation in training camp the first 20 games, hit a bump maybe with a bunch of the injuries. We still have another 10 games or so to build that foundation. But I think our team did a great start. I think we know how we want to play, and I think when teams play us, they can expect us to play that fast, aggressive style, in-your-face game.
So coming up next is the team identity portion. Can you tell us about that and what you want to accomplish with that segment?
We do want to make a statement with every game. Once we get to that 40-game mark, we want every team to know when we play the Penguins, this is what we can expect. When we go into Pittsburgh, this is how the game's going to be. And that's a mark we want to leave every time we touch the ice. And by that 40-game mark, our identity team should know who they're going to play when they play the Penguins.
What else do you have planned for us as far as diagramming?
Well, we want to keep talking about our aggressive nature and how we want to play, what that means. We don't want to go chance for chance with teams, but we want to show how we get to the offensive zone, wear teams down, create scoring opportunities by getting people in the net and pucks to the net. And the more we talk about it, the more people see, the more they'll see on the ice, hey, that's how the Penguins play.
Okay, we will see you in 2 weeks, and this has been a lot of fun. Our thanks to Dan and our entire crew here at Mellon Arena. See you next time on the Dan Bylsma Show, presented by Pizza Hut.